We can now all agree that the moral crimes committed here by Ryan Reynolds against Justin Baldoni have amounted to high treason. After having read through the amended lawsuit, Ryan absolutely must go home. And I have got some major scoops. I mean, everybody's talking because the sink is shipping and people want to get onto lifeboats.
What I'm thinking is what Brian Friedman is going to say is, so you were upset that you say your wife was harassed. And he's going to say yes. And he's going to say, yet
unaware of anybody, frankly, whose wife has been sexually harassed and has made jokes about that type of situation.
Celebrities avoiding Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds really goes to show that their careers are pretty much done.
I find the entire video. I only found the clip. So it was very bizarre that that clip just was sitting somewhere in the clouds and I couldn't find a full video, but that's what I found.
Says he went in there, Ryan Reynolds starts gushing with praise about Blake Lively's rewrite. He says that meeting happened, and then a few hours later, Taylor Swift waltzes into the room and also gushes with praise.
Did you know that one of Hollywood's top directors swore never to work with Ryan Reynolds again after their very first film together? Or that a former co-star described collaborating with him as the worst experience of their career? Behind the charming, funny persona the public adores, there are untold stories that paint a very different picture. In the next 12 minutes, you'll uncover the real moments that turned 5 celebrities against the man the world knows as a lovable prankster. Some of these revelations are shocking, but the 4th celebrity on this list might just surprise you more than anyone else.
familiar, and that Blake Lively would certainly know because she did almost the exact same scene. Yeah.
Wow.
And
it's strikingly similar.
Some of the dance moves, the spitting of her. Now you could say, look, that's just fan theory, is that Ryan Reynolds saw that scene in It Ends With Us, and it was a trigger, and that he is, because there are some people who feel like he is the one who's driving all of this.
He's
and
pulling
telling
the
Blake.
Strings behind.
I don't think that seems very unfair to Blake Lively.
That's
to me,
pretty diabolical.
Who also had an experience, she has said, in her lawsuit that she was sexually harassed.
Right. That theory completely minimizes her feelings here, but
But some fans who are, of course, going to keep theorizing on this as long as it keeps.
So is the idea that Ryan was jealous and he thought, oh, hey.
Yes. And look, this has been like an ongoing theory that like Ryan Reynolds is the guy that's behind all of this because people feel that Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively were secretly in love while filming this. And if you listen to some of like the voice text that he sent her, it seems like a very, like they had originally like a very intimate conversation and like, you know, just their conversations were just very
him
like
speaking at 2 a.m. Or that's just his voice at 2 a.m.
Yes, but fans are really reading into this and they're like, you know, Ryan is so jealous of this relationship. He's trying to torpedo this. And look, at the end of the day, the scenes do kind of look alike. You know, the interaction, the camera angles, the dancing, but it's just another scene in any other movie.
Remember when Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds shared the screen in Green Lantern? Well, there is another A-list actress who now reportedly refuses to even be in the same room with him. Sandra Bullock, once his charming co-star in The Proposal, is said to want nothing to do with Hollywood's favorite jokester anymore. Their on-screen chemistry was undeniable, and the romantic comedy became a box office hit, with fans and critics praising their dynamic performances. Behind the scenes, everything seemed professional, and studios were already considering future projects with the duo, hoping to recapture that magic. But things quickly took a turn. According to exclusive industry sources, tension arose during the filming of a pivotal emotional scene. Reynolds allegedly went off script, improvising in ways that caught Bullock completely off guard. What was meant to be a vulnerable, deeply prepared moment for her character turned into a showcase for his ad-libs and humor. Unsurprisingly, she was furious. A source close to the production reveals that Ryan Reynolds repeatedly changed the dialogue, inserting jokes that completely undercut the emotional weight of key scenes. What might have remained a minor behind-the-scenes disagreement quickly escalated during the film's press tour. Reynolds repeatedly took credit for the success of the scenes in interviews, bragging about his improvisational skills while never acknowledging Bullock's performance, the very performance that many say grounded the moment. The tension reportedly reached a breaking point at the 2013 Met Gala. Witnesses claim Reynolds openly ignored Bullock even when they were just feet apart. When mutual friends tried to gather them for a photo, Reynolds allegedly made a quick exit, leaving Bullock visibly embarrassed. Since then, it's been a silent war. Sources confirm she has turned down at least 3 major projects because Reynolds was attached, including a long-rumored sequel to the proposal that could have earned her an 8-figure payday. Though Bullock has never publicly criticized him, her team has made it clear to producers and casting directors, it's Sandra or Ryan. You can't have both.
Ryan Reynolds starts gushing with praise about Blake Lively's rewrite. He says that meeting happened, and then a few hours later, Taylor Swift waltzes into the room and also gushes with praise over the rewrite of the scene. And he says, and his words in the lawsuit are pretty clear, he says, it was clear to me that I was being pressured to go with Blake Lively's rewrite. He then wrote to Blake Lively and said, listen, that meeting was cool. I liked your pages anyway. You didn't really need to. I liked your pages even before Taylor and Ryan came out to sort of.
Sandra Bullock isn't the only A-lister who's drawn a hard line when it comes to working with Ryan Reynolds. Behind the wisecracking charm and fourth wall breaking antics of Deadpool lies another Hollywood relationship that completely fell apart. T.J. Miller, who played Wade Wilson's loyal psychic weasel, reportedly walked away from one of the most successful superhero franchises ever, leaving millions in potential earnings on the table. According to insiders, tensions began early. Reynolds wasn't content with just being the face of the franchise. He was deeply involved in every aspect of production, from script rewrites to marketing decisions. One crew member even said Reynolds became...
Oh, nice! Nice!
He followed me. I said,
see, that's funny. That's a reveal because she's like, can we just stop? But then she's in your DMs like, girl, keep it going.
My post and she's like, oh, your coverage of this is amazing. And I messaged her. She's like, you better keep going. And I'm like...
Wow, that's an exclusive. That's hilarious.
I know. And the biggest, like, my favorite... I don't know if you ever watched Rizzoli and Isles.
Yes.
Dr. Isles has a podcast she's starting, and she messaged me. She wants me to come on.
It's wild. Enjoy. Well deserved. Well I love it. We'll talk more later. I would love, because I figured out where you are, but you're not in LA because we're filming a lot of people in LA, and I'd love to include you in our doc if you're willing. But we'll talk more about that as we go. But while I have you, we do have some Ryan Reynolds updates I wanted to share. And so rather than just play your video, I thought it'd be fun if we could actually get you on here.
Notebook.
Oh, you got there's the. Oh wow, that is the notebook.
No, this is the book of truth. It's everything. It's
amazing. Amazing. You are doing the work. You are helping us get to the truth. So there's been a few Ryan Reynolds updates. First, before we get to even yours, I'm assuming you saw Matthew Lawrence was calling him out as well. Matthew Lawrence has the Brotherly Love podcast with the Lawrence brothers. Good for them. They're relevant again through this podcast.
Somehow.
Whoa, that's what I think of. Blossom, whoa. Here he was talking about Ryan.
It just missed the mark, but it was a really interesting movie. Great script.
Frankenbold or something was the movie?
The funny part about it is that the production team was having a really hard time with Ryan. Now, this is young Ryan. He wanted to wear his own clothes. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Are you telling me he was sending texts to the studio?
I've heard that before.
Back in the mid-'90s. I wonder where Blake learned it from. I'll never forget. Allegedly. I'll never forget. All hearsay.
That's what they call that MO.
Go ahead. Sorry, I meant to pause. What were you saying?
I said, that's what they call a method of operation on a criminal shows. That's an MO, if I've ever seen it.
Yes. I'd grown up in the industry, so I'd known my way around a set by that point. I was dialed in, right?
You couldn't keep him away from craft
He
service.
wasn't dialed in.
I'm just kidding.
Okay? And he'd walk out, didn't really, just wanted to kind of do his thing. And the producers were getting really upset because they said, and they even told him, like, Ryan, this is a bad Jim Carrey impersonation. We don't want, just not what we hired you to do. We thought you can't impersonate somebody. You got to do your own thing. And he got upset at that. And he was like, I'm doing my thing. And then I was privy to a meeting between the director and this crew had come from, I think they were just nominated for an Oscar. So they were.
Can I just love that we are in the state of the world where actors who don't get as much work can now make a podcast and dole out these old stories of the people that they always wanted to rag on. You go, Matthew Lawrence.
And it's a moneymaker now.
Kind of a big deal at that moment. Talk about frustrations on set with actors. Right. And I'll never forget being privy to this movie going, I can't believe this guy. We had so much hope for this guy. He's going nowhere.
That's funny. He's like the biggest. He's become literally the biggest.
You never know in Hollywood, folks.
But here's the difference.
You never know.
So anyway, but he was young. Do you fault him, Elsrich, on this one? Is this really that? Your story's worse. That's why I started with the less one. What do you think of this?
I wish he would call me and told me this story personally, so I could have released it with my wits, because I would have done numbers with the story. I mean, the comparisons I could have found within the story and what Blake is doing is just amazing to me. I wish everybody would come out the woodworks. I still feel like there are people who are scared to speak their truth, and it's amazing to me. Actually,
it's like Armie Hammer when he was so afraid to talk about Blake Lively clearly firing him.
Oh yeah. And that's not even the worst of Gossip Girl stories that could come out. So she got lucky with that.
While TJ Miller's career unraveled after Deadpool, another Hollywood figure faced an even deeper sense of betrayal. Before Ryan Reynolds became a billion-dollar box office star, he was just another actor scrambling for a hit. According to one furious former colleague, he allegedly found it by taking someone else's creative vision. Back then, Reynolds' career was struggling. Green Lantern had flopped, R.I.P.D. was a disaster, and studios were losing faith in him as a leading man. Insiders claim that turning point came at an exclusive industry party in 2010. Comedian Dane Cook, Reynolds' former co-star from Waiting, was passionately pitching a personal passion project he'd been developing for years, a subversive R-rated superhero story that mocked genre conventions and broke the fourth wall. Just months later, Reynolds was suddenly developing a project with strikingly similar themes. Sources say he used his remaining industry influence to fast-track Deadpool into production, while Cook's original project never moved forward. Cook's project was left to languish in development hell, while mutual acquaintances noticed the striking similarities and brought them up. Reynolds allegedly brushed it off, calling it a coincidence, and even suggesting that Cook should feel flattered to have inspired him. Things escalated when Cook tried to resolve the matter privately. Verified emails show he directly asked Reynolds to acknowledge his role in shaping what would become the tone and structure of Deadpool. According to sources, Reynolds' legal team fired back with cease and desist letters threatening litigation if Cook continued to speak out publicly. The fallout has been long-lasting. A veteran stand-up comedian told us that Cook simply didn't have the resources to challenge Reynolds' rising empire, leaving him effectively silenced. Several comedians close to Cook reportedly blacklisted Reynolds from their projects in quiet solidarity. In a 2019 podcast, Cook made thinly veiled references to a Canadian actor who had allegedly borrowed a superhero concept he'd spent years developing. I watched someone take my baby, my creative vision, and build their empire on it. The hardest part wasn't losing the project, it was sitting through interviews where everyone called me a genius, and I had to just smile through it. The incident has become one of the dirtiest open secrets in comedy circles, a cautionary tale about Hollywood power, credit, and creative theft.